Heather Kylan is with us today. She's going to introduce Emily and Dennis Tatu. They are travelers for us in Reno, Nevada right now, right?
Yes, they are. They've been there. Ooh, look, my phone declined.
Always working.
They have been there since October. So they extended out there and they're kind of hanging out for a little bit, having fun.
So how did you meet them originally?
They came to me through referral. They just were like, we heard about Atlas, tell us more about it. So kind of hooked them up. It was right around TravCon time. So I was like, you need to come out. The way that it all happened was really funny because they were like, we submitted all of our paperwork and we were kind of getting them to where they wanted to be at, which was, I told them Reno was a great first travel assignment. They had never traveled before.
Yep.
And being from Albany, New York, they are from New York area. They kind of jumped on a little bit warmer climate for the winter.
Yeah.
So, TravCon happened. I was like, you guys should come out and see what all this traveler, before you like jump and head forward, let's go and have fun. Come out with Atlas and let's show you around. So I have a picture of them and I hope they don't. This is the first time I actually met them. And we had them submitted to go, but we hadn't gotten anything. So this was the pool party.
Yes.
And ended up meeting them, falling in love with them. They're an amazing couple. And on their plane ride back home after TravCon, they got an offer.
Awesome. Which
was really cool. So they got off the plane. They're like, we just got the offer in the interview and nailed it down. And they've been with me ever since.
Fantastic. And as you'll see in the video, they love it there. Like they're having a great time. They are, and I don't want to generalize it all, but they seem to be that ideal travel nurse couple, right?
Oh my gosh. They got married in August, right before, they got married and then started traveling right out of the gates, and they're going and having so much fun.
Yep.
They're about to come down here and we're all going on a cruise. So it's just been, they love to get up and go, and they're up for anything, which makes them great.
Talk about that, because they talked about the cruise a little bit. So talk about what you're doing with that.
We're really excited. So when I was in Vegas, we kind of formed this group, just meeting all of the travelers out there. And then I have kind of a little group of people that just fun going, loving, like to get out and adventure. So we Facebook on a separate messenger together and kind of put a plan to get together and have a couple travelers come together and go on a cruise. So hopefully this is the first annual cruise. We hope to do it every year and just keep adding more people. Claire Strain's also coming with us too. And she's loves Atlas and has been with me for a year now. So
has it been a year? Well, it has been a year, right? She just posted that on.
Yeah, she just hit a year with me. So very exciting. We're going to have a really good time.
I will go. I promise you I will go next year. It was it's been so busy here. And I don't want to say oh, it's so busy. It really has been. I mean, it's all good. It's all good stuff, but I would love to get away.
Just for a week.
Right.
And you know what? They have internet on board. So I'm like, I can still work.
Sure.
Which is the bad and the good of vacationing.
How about just go and have fun, and work will be here when you get back?
I know. I don't think my nurses would like that.
Yeah, you're probably right. But they're going to be there with you, though. So that's what's fun.
Yeah, it is. We're going to have a blast. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Heather, thank you so much for connecting me with them and bringing them to Atlas. They like I said, they really do kind of embody everything that we look for in travel nursing. So.
All right. Yay, guys.
Thank you so much. And Emily and Dennis, welcome to the Atlas Life. So is Emily and Dennis. Welcome to the Atlas Life, episode 6, I believe. I think we're up to episode 6 already.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. So thanks for being on with us. You guys have been traveling with Atlas for how long now?
4 months.
Okay. And then Heather Kylan is your recruiter. How'd you guys meet Heather?
I actually ended up meeting Heather through online posts on the Gypsy page. A lot of people were making great comments about her, and there have been a lot of good comments and rumors about Atlas being one of the better and best up-and-coming travel companies. Pretty much like you said, and what your slogan is like where you belong. Everybody's more or less like family. And since we've gotten to know the Atlas family, everybody's made us feel really welcome.
Awesome. Well, you came through town last time when you were traveling, right? And that was a lot of fun to get to meet you in person and hang out. It's not something that we get to do very often. So,
Right.
I mean, it feels like you guys have been with us forever now.
It does feel longer than 4 months, but that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. So where are you right now?
We're in Reno, Nevada.
How is Reno?
Reno is not like Las Vegas.
Okay. Some people would think that though, right? I would think.
I mean, there's casinos, so you can drink 24/7 if you're interested in that kind of thing, and gamble away if you want. It's very desert-like. There's no grass around. There's a lot of mountains, and we're right near Lake Tahoe, which is awesome. We're like an hour drive, and that's like the most beautiful view I've ever seen. So
Nice.
awesome.
It's definitely not as cold as home, so it's a nice change of pace. And I think that's one of the best opportunities that travel nursing gives us, is to be able to travel and explore the world.
Mm-hmm. So then, what's next after Reno?
We don't know. We actually have two options now. We're here till at least June, the end of June, because we have an apartment here. But we're thinking possibly Las Vegas because we already have the Nevada license.
Sure.
But then we also submitted our California license in Sacramento 3 weeks ago. So that's also a possibility. So either Las Vegas and then California, but we'll definitely hit up California. So.
And California license could take a bit. So I mean that's entirely possible. And if you're in Vegas for TravCon when it comes up, you end in June, you could be there for TravCon too.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're already planning on coming back. We had the greatest time hanging out with the Atlas family and the Atlas crew, which was the other turning point for meeting up and working with Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Our first time meeting Heather was actually at the travel convention and TravelCon in Las Vegas in September. So we had a great time meeting Heather, getting to know her, and getting to actually meet you. And a lot of the Atlas administration and supportive staff.
Yeah,
I think it's incredible, because in what company do you ever, for one, meet your recruiter, let alone,
in person,
the owners of the company?
Right. Yeah, it's unique, and it's one of the things that we take a lot of pride in, that we've done even since the beginning, knowing that, when we started off early on, years ago, our budget was, nothing, but we knew if we got out there and you actually met people one-on-one and just really talked about how important this kind of personal relationship is. And, that family aspect, that's not something we just throw around, right? I mean, that's, it. I mean, you guys have seen it firsthand.
Yeah. I mean, talking to the other travel nurses at our hospital now, actually the place that we're at is 50 to 60% travel nurses.
Yeah.
So, and I guess we kind of just always ask them, hey, who are you with?
Sure.
How's your experience been? And then it's either they've been with them forever, or they've been with so many different companies and they're not happy still. And we're like, you need to try out Atlas. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll give it a try. Or we actually met a girl that's on our floor, which I had no idea. We were talking about Atlas this morning, and she's like, I'm with Atlas. I was like, what?
Wow.
So she's Adam Collette's nurse.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I don't know. So another Atlas nurse on our floor with us.
We have quite a few there. I mean, and you're right. I mean, there in Reno, there are a ton of travel nurses in that hospital. So I guess I'm kind of not surprised by that we have so many there.
Yeah. Definitely a great place to go. I would suggest it for any travelers who haven't ever thought about Reno. There's a lot of hiking and outdoorsy stuff to do here, and the weather is cooler, like colder now, but it will get nice in a couple months. And like I said, Lake Tahoe's nearby, but the hospital is very traveler friendly, so they're super nice to you. They're always offering help. That's what we like, because I don't want to go there and if I have to ask a question and get looked down on for that, that's a plus when the hospital doesn't do that. So.
You're definitely right. And you can tell the more traveler friendly hospitals are the ones that generally have more travelers there. I mean,
Right.
we're especially first time, we've done that with quite a few, because we know good traveler friendly, safe place to be, great place to be, right? I mean, you said it, you're an hour from Lake Tahoe. It's nice. It's not Las Vegas. Not that Vegas is bad. Vegas is
right.
But Vegas is a whole different animal when it comes to, travel nursing.
Right.
So why, I guess, and this is such a stock question, but I love the answers that come from this. Like, why did you become travel nurses? Like what happened in your lives to get you to that point?
Well, before I even met Dennis, like 7 years ago, I wanted to get out of Buffalo, New York when I was like 21. I was like, I'm going to become a nurse and get the heck out of here. I want warmer weather. I want to see beaches. I want to just get out of here and travel. That never happened. Life had a few bumps in the road, but that was meant to be, because then I met Dennis and we got married, and then I had told him from the beginning, like, hey, I don't want to stay here in Buffalo, New York. I do plan on wanting to move somewhere else, warmer, FYI. And we thought about it, and we were like, let's just do it now. So we did.
Awesome. So Dennis, you're from Buffalo too. I don't know if I knew that.
I'm actually from Southern California, Orange County.
Okay.
But I moved to Buffalo in 2012, my family being originally from Buffalo. I moved in with my cousin. That didn't last for very long, but regardless, I was really busy, caught up in schoolwork, so I tried the dating scene, and I met Emily while we were both in nursing school. Different schools, but we met up, and like she said, a little over 4 years now, and we're married, and we started doing travel nursing together. We got plans to travel the world. Actually, in like a week, we're going on a cruise with Heather.
Yeah, next weekend.
That's right. That is right. She tried to talk me into that, and I would love to have gone, but I cannot tell you how busy it has been here. It's all good busy, right? It's all
busy's good.
That's what she said. She's like, I'm going to be working on the cruise. I was like, I kind of figured you don't ever not work, so that's okay.
Is there Wi-Fi on the boat? I would assume there probably is. So,
yeah, there is.
You need to get her out and do stuff, right? Because she does work a ton. We give her a lot of crud for working all the time, but she needs to take some time to herself.
Yeah, she does.
She's definitely a hard worker, and I couldn't imagine working with a different recruiter. She makes you feel like a friend. She's easy to talk to. She's relatable because she used to be a nurse, and now she's doing the recruiting full time. So
talk to me about that, because that's something that we knew because I met Heather a number of years ago when before she was even a travel nurse. She was working perm and then became a travel nurse for us. Talk to me about the importance of her being a nurse and also being your recruiter.
I mean, there's ups and downs of every shift that you work, and we haven't called in sick yet, knock on wood, but if we ever, I'm sure, had an issue where if we had to and she had to contact our hospital, or I feel like she knows the ins and outs of working a floor and what goes on and how other nurses are, how management can be. So if you ever just need to call her and vent to her, like, oh my God, the shift last night, let me tell you about what happened. Like, she will listen to you and she can understand where you're coming from. And not that the recruiters who aren't nurses, I feel like anybody from Atlas would sit there and listen to you vent. I get that. Sure. It is different of her being a nurse, but yeah, so she understands more, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think you're right. And Dennis, you can please feel free to chime in there. I think you're absolutely right. There's just that different level of, of understanding, maybe.
Yeah, and I think it's another aspect of it is when you're new to travel nursing and you're trying to, pick the company you want to work with, pick the recruiter you want to work with. There's two aspects to it, and that's both of those in the regard that you need a company that fits you well, their motto. Different people have different needs as far as pay and benefits, et cetera, et cetera.
Location.
Mhm.
But another part of it is your recruiter, and your recruiter can either make it or break it for you because
Right.
your recruiter is the person you're dealing with on, a daily basis, on a monthly basis. When you're looking for signing contracts and you're working with a company, you're working with a company, but more so, you're working with that recruiter.
Mhm.
And talking to Heather is like talking to my best friend. I've talked to other recruiters, and other recruiters are like talking to a used car salesman. They're more about the business and more about just trying to get you the sign than work on something that is a better fit for you.
Mhm.
But it's not just Heather, it's all of the Atlas recruiters that are great at what they do. I can tell a difference between, like, when we worked with our previous company and how our recruiter, like he said, was like a used car salesman, wanted to get her job done, even if it didn't help you out
Right.
in a way. But Heather and Atlas is not for that. They are for what works for you,
Mhm.
and they will make it happen. So
I will not disagree with you there. Like it is, we go through the interview process here is, and we could do a whole video just about, the interview process to become a recruiter and, and how that works and how selective we are. I can tell you, so we just had a class that came through not too, 2 weeks ago, I think, a class of like 6 for, and that's a bigger, 6 or 7. I guess there was a marketing person in there as well. But that's kind of a bigger class for us. And for every one of those that we hired, there were 15 to 20 interviews per.
Oh.
So like 15 to 20 applicants, and then to hire that one. So it's a process. We take it very seriously because it it all comes down to this, right? It all comes down to how you feel and our interaction with you. So I mean, you're not wrong. Heather is pretty fantastic as a recruiter and as a person. But it makes me feel good that you say the same thing about the rest of the recruiters out there that we have.
I mean, it's not an easy job to be a recruiter. I can see that for sure. I can see dealing with, depending on how many nurses you have, and
we have to juggle 5 to 6 patients. Some of those recruiters are juggling a few dozen people. So
listen, I know. I mean, I've said it a lot. I could never ever do what you guys do. I know. So that's why I do this, right? That's why I do this side is that being able to help people out and be a part of their lives and make their lives better. What you do is very, very difficult, and so we can't say thank you enough to for what you do for your patients.
We love it. I don't think we would pick any other career, even after crappy nights that we have. You just come home, you vent, you sleep it off, and then you're like, all right, let's go back to work.
You get back to it the next day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah. So tell me, what's the hardest part about being nursing, going, together on the road? Like, what's the toughest part?
Right now, taxes.
Yeah, it's tax season. And we've never filed taxes jointly as a married couple. And we've never done it when we were traveling more than one state.
Being a New York State resident, because we still get New York State taxes taken out.
Yep.
No, that's okay. We're figuring it out. Other than that, I mean,
I think the hardest thing for me is the point of travel is being able to move. But every 3 months is short, and I prefer to stay in a place for a little bit longer. Because when I first moved away from home, I moved a lot, and I was used to being that homebody kind of person, staying in one place. Growing up with my family and my dad being in the Marine Corps, normally you got the military brat lifestyle. You move around every so many months. You don't really get to stay in the same school. You meet a bunch of new people. I stayed in one place. So it was the total opposite for me.
So yeah, moving and I'd say getting acclimated to the area. We got here 2 weeks before our assignment started, so we were able to explore a little bit, figure out the city. We still drive with a GPS here. I don't think we'll ever learn it, but that's okay. So just getting used to an area and meeting new people, I think, which that isn't too hard, but it kind of is. You want to be able to have plans on your days off, and you got to be able to find the people that want to hang out with you on your days off. So,
right.
Yeah.
So then what do you do while you're there? Like, tell me, have you found breweries are close to my heart, right? And so, right? I mean, and so have you found good breweries there? Are there good places to eat? Give me an idea of Reno, like what you found so far.
I think there are definitely breweries, but I haven't been to them yet. Dennis is not a beer drinker. So
right.
I'm the beer drinker, and I'll have to go with somebody else, I guess. But we are foodie people, so we like to go out to eat. We've actually been good about it lately, but breakfast after work, we actually just went to a place this morning called Squeeze In, right?
Yeah.
Squeeze In. And it was actually on like Bobby Flay
visited there.
Food Network or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's 3 locations here, but it was so good. The portions were humongous, though, so we took like 3/4 of our food home. Well, Dennis ate all of his.
And they served mimosas.
Yes, pitchers of mimosas. So that was our after work thing today. But there's been a few restaurants. I don't know. Is there one that sticks out to you? We've done a couple of the casino buffets. They're not like Vegas, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
My favorite restaurant here has to be the Stonehouse.
Okay.
Stonehouse is like a mom and pop kind of place. It's not super fancy, but you're going to spend a pretty dime on your meal. But it is by far the best meal that we've had here in Reno.
Yeah. Is it like an older, like, has it been around for years and years? Or?
It's kind of like in a house. It looked like a house.
I think it's been there a while. But what was funny is we were eating dinner with our friends, and this old guy kind of like walks up to our table. And he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Are you from Reno? Where are you from?" And like they already knew we were from out of town or something. And he must have been the owner of the restaurant. He was asking if the food was okay, if there was anything he could get us.
He had to be at least 95 years old.
So. Oh yeah. And as the restaurant was closing down, he was cleaning stuff up. He was, folding silverware and napkins.
Yeah.
So how did you find that place then? Was that like a Yelp thing or?
I Google Map everything.
Awesome.
Honestly, if I didn't have my GPS, I would get lost leaving my house.
Same here.
Yeah.
Even though
I know how to get to work. I know how to get to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I know how to get to the gym.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing so far.
You look up a lot of the reviews too.
Yeah.
On places.
Yeah. I've been.
Plus, you ask the people you work with. Hey, I'm new in town. I'm a travel nurse. What's your favorite place to eat? Where do you like to go?
Yep. Where should you go?
Yeah.
That the locals would have the best. That's how I found some of the best places. Myself is, just ask a local.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, last question, and you've been doing this for a little while. You've both been nurses for a little while. Tell me what's the one lesson that took you the longest to learn through all of this?
Through nursing or travel nursing?
Either.
Huh.
Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
I'm guilty of, yep.
Even though you're a travel nurse, even though you might have been a nurse for like 10 years, every place you go is going to do things a little bit differently. And as a nurse, you want to be, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, because it's your license, it's your responsibility, it's the patient's safety. So ask.
Yep.
And, if you're lucky to be at a place like we are, everybody's really helpful. Everybody is very friendly, and they're more than willing to help you if you need, assistance with something, or you just don't know.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with asking. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
No.
I think we literally do, because we get floated a lot too to different floors.
Mm.
So you get floated, and you're like, okay, where's this? Where's this? And you feel like you're asking a million questions, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll help you.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm just nervous to go to a hospital where you're gonna ask that question and they're gonna be like, really? Like, you don't know where that is? I don't know. So I feel like we're spoiled here right now. I'm hoping it stays that way, that we get all these hospitals that are really nice to us. So
yeah, you know what? You'd be surprised. Like, I've asked that question a number of times now. That's the exact same answer, right? I think it's no matter what, it's the same thing. And I don't think you're never going to go wrong with asking for help. Not asking for help will get you in more trouble.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or guessing, I guess. I'm guilty of guessing sometimes. That's definitely one of I need to work on that. So
yeah, definitely can't guess at our job.
No.
Could possibly kill a patient.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But once again,
So
that's why you're there and I'm here.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
man.
Emily and Dennis, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being with us today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rich.
so keep up the good work. I will see you in Vegas at TravCon.
That's right.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. The rest of us will see you out there on the road.
All
All
right.
right. Sounds good.
All
Have
right.
a good day.
All right.
Thanks. See
Thanks.
you.
Thanks, Rich.